This is a 0548 departure to London King's Cross. Board passengers here first before making your grand journey south. So press T to open the doors, H for the headlights. The next stop is Dunbar at 6:10. So reverser to forward, reset the AWS, power to notch 1. So departing Edinburgh Waverley, the speed limit is 20 miles an hour. And we have about 29 miles to Dunbar. So we're following along train 1 Echo 02, the 548 Edinburgh to London King's Cross service. And I'm going to be doing the entire journey all the way from London to King's Cross, but not all at once. Speed limit is now 30. Speed limit is now 40 miles an hour, going up to 70. Like that. So part 1 will be from Edinburgh to Dunbar. Part 2 from Dunbar to Berwick-upon-Tweed. Part 3 I think is from Berwick-upon-Tweed to Morpeth. Part 4 from Morpeth to Newcastle. Morpeth to Durham, then Durham to York, York to Doncaster, Doncaster to Newark, Newark to Peterborough, and then Peterborough to London King's Cross. So there should be about 10 parts altogether. So part 1 is from here to Dunbar. So speed limit is now 85 miles an hour, shortly going up to 90. Yeah, this train has really crazy acceleration. Speed limit is now 90 miles per hour. Yeah, because it's like 10 to 6 in the morning, AI traffic is very, very quiet. So I think between here and Newcastle, the only other train should be another LNER train from Newcastle to Edinburgh, and that's it. So on the right is Craig and Tinney train maintenance depot. Yeah, just put in a couple of HSTs, a few voyages, and that's it. So I didn't put much in here. Speed limit is shortly going up to 95 miles per hour. Shortly going up to 95, you just said that. So coming up ahead shortly should be Musselburgh Junction, where the line from I think it's Tweed Bank joins. So speed limit is now 95 miles an hour. So what we're driving 801229. So this train is formed of 9 coaches. So this train stops at Edinburgh, Dunbar, Berwick-upon-Tweed, Alnmouth, Morpeth, Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, York, Doncaster, Newark North Gate, Peterborough, and London King's Cross, arriving at 10:39 and travelling 393 miles. So I think on the East Coast Main Line, the only trains that are operating is the stopping train from North Berwick to Edinburgh. You got cross-country trains from like Edinburgh to the south. And you've got LNER trains. I think they run like one every 2 hours between King's Cross and Edinburgh because of the reduced service. Also, at this time in the morning, trains heading north are very spread out by a few hours. So I think about 10 minutes behind us is a cross-country train to, I think it's Plymouth. This is Musselburgh Junction. So there have also been a few changes. So the first change is that I now have 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM as opposed to 8 gigabytes. And I've also made TrainSim run through my dedicated graphics card. I think it's an AMD Radeon 5 230. So it seems to be running TrainSim pretty well. Speed limit is now 125 miles an hour. And we have about 22 miles left to Dunbar. So now I can run TrainSim at the normal graphics settings, and I can record and stream as well. So I can now stream TrainSim forever. Yay! This is Morpeth station. So taking a look at the LNER Azuma livery, it doesn't really look that interesting because all you have is just a white background and just a red line through it. Yeah, it's fairly basic. Stop wiping. So speed limit is going down to 110. So the thing about the East Coast Main Line is that non-tilting trains can actually run up to 125 miles an hour. This is Preston Pan station. So passing at 5:56. We are early. Cool. So the thing about the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast is that non-tilting trains can actually run up to 125 miles an hour without having tilted mechanisms, and also running the EPS, so the enhanced permit speed that tilted trains have on the West Coast. So if you're running a train on the West Coast main line without tilting, the maximum speed you can travel up to is 110, as opposed to 125. The next station should be LNER, passing at 5:59. So yesterday, as in Saturday, I did a test run from Edinburgh to Newcastle. I drove the 124 miles in 100 minutes. Yeah, it's a very, very long route. So this train was originally formed over 91 coaches, but because the journey from Edinburgh to Newcastle has already been done in a 91, I thought I'd go with an Azuma for a change. It's a lot easier to drive. Also, it's a lot faster. Now approaching LNER station. Oh, in OBS I've also put up like a bit of text that says next stop and then a station. Yeah, I thought that would be kind of useful because someone said in a stream what's next station, so I thought about putting that there. So when I get to the next station, I'll just change it to the next station. So when I get to Dunbar in the next part, I will change it to Berwick-upon-Tweed. So yeah, this is a fairly long route. So speed limit is going down to 125 at about a mile and a half. So the East Coast Main Line. The East Coast Main Line runs north out of King's Cross in London, goes through Stevenage to Peterborough, then Grantham, Newark, Retford, Doncaster. Then the line splits, where one part of the main line goes to Leeds, then the other continues straight northwards to York. Then you got a branch off to Scarborough. But continuing on the main line, you're up to Thirsk, Northallerton, Darlington, Durham to Newcastle. Then after Morpeth, you go, after I think it's Chat Hill, you go into the Scottish border and then through Dunbar to Edinburgh. So pretty much, so the main line pretty much goes up the east coast of the UK, which is why it's called the East Coast Main Line. So speed limit is now going up to 125 miles an hour. And it's shortly going back down to 115. Yeah, this route seems to be running very smoothly. So I'll start braking for the 115 limit. Now what's the point of putting the speed limit up to 125, then about a mile later it goes back down to 115? Why can't I just keep it at 115? Speed limit is now 115 miles an hour. Now we're coming up on Durham station. One 6, 115. So I think it's Denton GSP. So the line to the left goes to North Berwick. And the limit is going back up to 125. And hopefully in the future, when Network Rail upgrade the entire East Coast Main Line, trains would hopefully travel up to 140 miles an hour. The same as on HS1. But that's a while away yet. Because you also have to fit the trains with some sort of in-cab signalling that I've already forgotten the name of. Speed limit is going down to 110. Yeah, the speed limit changes quite a lot between here and Newcastle. It should be more consistent when we get more south, mainly between Newcastle and York. Also going down to 100. I think after the entire East Coast Main Line, the route between Newcastle and Edinburgh has to be the most curvy. But at least it's not as curvy as the West Coast. So I think after Dunbar we should get up right to the East Coast. So Dunbar in about 7 miles. So passenger view. Yeah, it's just the same default one. What's happening on the right? I don't think Dovetail kind of anticipated anyone putting the camera back this far, so you kind of see out the back of it. Looks really weird. So I think for live streaming ideas, I do have an idea where you could do like a 66 and a pair of 325 units, haul them out of Marylebone towards Birmingham. That would be a cool idea. I've also got Liverpool to London, so I could do Liverpool to Stafford, Stafford to Rugby, then Rugby to Euston. I've also got Liverpool to Manchester via Warrington in a 158. Yeah, and hopefully I won't do another Widdens. Or Pendolino won't move out of South Parkway. So 5 miles left to Dunbar. Speed limit is now 110. Yeah, since I recently got 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, everything has just been running so smoothly. And also because I've made a transitive run on my dedicated graphics card, it's freed up the CPU to use with OBS. So everything just moves smoother. So now my CPU and its integrated graphics card aren't being put under so much load. So I arrived into Dunbar, platform 1, between 6:09 and 6:10. We're doing it at 6:07. So we are really early. Probably because this was formed over 91, not an Azuma. So it has the timetable has the performance of a 91 in mind rather than like a rocket powered Azuma. So we should be in Dunbar in the next 2 minutes. The thing about Dunbar is that it's kind of off the main line. So you have to sort of come off the up main, stop at Dunbar, and then come back onto the up main. I wonder why Dunbar is like that. Yeah, it's kind of like Western-super-Mare, except not as much of a loop, and half the platforms. What I think about having a 9-car IET is that it doesn't fit in all the stations. Mainly all the stations between here and Newcastle. So coming off the up main, the speed limit goes down to 40. But before that it goes down to 85 as you kind of round the curve through Dunbar. We have the clear aspects, which means we're cleared into platform 1 at Dunbar. Just bring our speed down to 40. In terms of anti-aliasing and texture filtering, I've got them set to the not the minimal, just the one after minimal. So I think it's FXAA on anti-aliasing, and I think it's anti-strophic ×2 on the texture filtering. Yeah, there are still a lot of jagged lines everywhere. So at Dunbar, I'm aiming to stop at the end of the platform. So this is end of part 1. Part 2 will be from Dunbar to Berwick-upon-Tweed. If I can actually stop. And arrival at Dunbar. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next part, which should be the day after this one goes out.